Hi, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet. Welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? Drop how you're doing in the comments. I am happy because today is part 3 of my reaction on Major Vivek Jacob's podcast. The last 2 parts have been focused on the Special Forces selection. I'm really hoping that he starts talking about some of his combat experiences. Let's get to it.
I just want to highlight one thing for the audiences, that this skill of intuition which you develop through the course of your journey, suppose you end up going away from the army and try doing something after your army tenure, you apply that intuition in your second innings as well. And I've seen this with you, Captain Raghu. Just y'all are taking your experience from the army and applying it in the real world to make the real world a better place. But I'd still just like to highlight combat a little bit again. So do you remember the first time you went into combat? And you don't have to tell us where it was, what happened, but I'd love to know what the man in you was thinking. Was it just excitement? Was it aggression? Was it, again, did efficiency come to the top, and were you very duty based? Were you in a state of flow?
I remember everything I did in the Special Forces, every damn thing. So when I went into combat the first time, I was taken after my probation, blah, blah, blah,
How
got
long was he in the army
became,
for?
Got into the lowest rung of the Special Forces team that was operating. I was sitting on top of a mountain. We were supposed to go down into a place, into a very deep ravine with a very, very, very jagged terrain. And we had to hold ground on top, and we had to go down and do what we had come there to do. So I was supposed to sit with the radio set and listen. What my team commander told me, my team commander was a very, 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 very experienced and very balanced person in combat. So he told me that, Jacob, you do one thing. You this radio set that you have, you sit right there on top of that mountain. And he was also sitting, some distance away from me on top of that mountain. He was controlling the entire combat operation going on there. He was watching and controlling and getting feed from all the squads which are out there. And I was also sitting, and he was sitting about maybe 20-30 meters in the forest on the other side. And he told me, you listen to the cricket match. You listen and learn. That's what he told me. You keep sitting there. See what happens. So I was sitting and waiting. And then the 2 squads which are going down for the hit, they were passing by just next to me. Yeah, they were going down. 6 and 6. So they were going down, and I saw I was watching them go down. And I knew, fucking, they're going for combat right now. They're going to experience right now. And the last guy was going, and I just told my buddy, I'm also going, bye-bye. And I went down behind the last guy.
He's a man of action. Not everyone would do that, so good for him.
Down, and reached the point of where the contact was supposed to happen. So I reached there, and I informed my team commander that, sir, I am here now. So he said, okay. Obviously, there is no extracting me back from there now, because the contact is going to happen now, right? So he let it be. It was my choice. So, and then first contact, first hit, that's how I experienced it. I chose it. Yeah.
But when the bullets started flying and the bomb started exploding, what was in your head? Years of training?
No, pure instinct.
And muscle
pure
memory.
Instinct.
Your body just works by itself.
Yeah. See what happens is, like I said, they're breaking it down, yet they're training you as well. So for example, so naturally I was a good marksman. I was pretty good with a weapon. From childhood, my father's taught me, I've been cleaning various kinds of weapons, opening them up, cleaning them up, using them, etc. from a child. From class 2-3, I've been handling pistols and things like that, filling in ammunition and things like that at home on our dining table and all. So I had a lot of experience with weapons. And if you want to call it DNA or whatever, so my father was like a national shot. He could write his name with a pistol. Yeah. And so that experience was there probably in my DNA or whatever. And then I landed up in 9 Para Special Forces. And then, when I entered that gate, like I said, they straight away took us to the armory where the weapons are kept. And they opened the gates of the armory and said, pick up your weapons. And they were all live weapons, they're not dummy weapons. They're all live weapons. And they told us that these weapons are going to stay with you for as long as you are here in this battalion. And once you clear your selection, then you can, there are other things that you can be exposed to. But this is your baby. This is part of your body. It doesn't go away from you. So then you're handed. That's the first thing that happened to me. They gave me a bloody AK-47.
It is something that you need to take complete accountability for. When you're deployed especially, that weapon becomes a part of you.
Like they opened it up and I chose an AK-47. Now I had certain understanding of weapons, so I chose a particular weapon. That weapon for 6 months was stuck to my body. Whether if I was eating, it was on my lap. If I was rolling, it was between my knees. If I was sleeping, it was tied to me. If I was shitting, I was holding it. And it was constantly 6 months that weapon became a part of my body. It was like with me, stuck with me. Because if it separates from you, the whole, unit is waiting for that weapon to separate from you. They'll break you down so much that you'll get confused and you lose the weapon for a minute, 2 minutes. If it's away from you, they'll take out the moving parts. And you will not even realize that the firing pin is gone. You realize it when you go for firing and you go click and no bullet comes out, you realize the bloody firing pin is gone. And if that goes, you are gone. You're told to leave. You're given some beer, drink beer, happy, no hard feelings, and bye-bye, buddy. So it's like that. So because those 6 months that damn thing was with me, it became so much of a part of my body that wherever I would point my finger, the damn bullet would go there only. So in the first contact, it's a flash. Most contacts are a flash. Right? There is no intense, prolonged battles going on. We don't want to get into prolonged battles and all. Right? We want to just go there and finish it off. Go in, hit, smash, out. When that first contact happened, it was an instinct. Seedha, trak. It was like that. There was no, shist milayenge and we
muscle
will
memory
foresight,
and
backside and whatnot, and you will take deep breath and this, that, and pull trigger slightly and all that. It's not like that. It's just like that.
Efficiency comes to the forefront.
Yes. Muscle memory. Confidence coupled with muscle memory. So if you take sports shooters, right? People who are shooting for sport, right? Air pistols, rifles, big bore, etc., whatever it is. Even like your skeet and trap or whatever that you are into. What happens is that you are capable of a human body and the human mind is capable of photocopying each and every action. It's capable of that, right? And these are very controlled environments. The AC is on, there is no sound, nobody is disturbing you, you're at the right temperature, you've eaten the right kind of food, you've slept well, etc., 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 etc.
That's not the case
so
in
that
combat.
when you go into and you're able to repeat
It's exactly
the same
the opposite.
10 like that, right? Combat is not like that. In combat, it's all chaos. So in that entire chaos, if you can, in that one flash, you have to hit a bloody 10, man. Because if you don't hit a 10, there is going to 10 bullets going to come towards you. Burst will come. There are no single bullet coming towards you. It'll come like a fucking wave. Boom, like that. It'll come like that. And so you don't want that happening, right? So instinctively, you reach that level of survival and exploration where you go, it's one shot. One shot is a 10.
Are you allowed to speak of the most difficult mission you had to face through your tenure? Just a bit of it, like, or what you found, to be challenging.
Yeah. Only one. And I'll tell you what was challenging about it. I enjoyed my life in the Special Forces. Constantly evolving, no? Constantly at the cutting edge.
And every combat situation is new. And it
Yeah.
teaches you something.
Like for every day, circumstances are different. The people you meet are different. Things that happen to you are different. The different food that you eat, etc., etc. There is variety in life. Similarly, in combat, there is no combat situation is the same. None whatsoever. And in my case, what I got to experience was I've never had the good fortune of sitting and waiting and in a perfect situation where you just go cluck and it's over. It's never happened like that with me. What has happened with me is that I have reached a certain place, reached there, and then things have played. Like all my contacts that I've had are moving contacts, moving flashes, finish, like that. Prolonged battle as like very few times. where something prolonged into something. And it's like, so the most challenging thing I ever found was when one of my guys got injured. But that was the calmest I've ever been. I was able to extract that man from death. It was, when I say I mean my team. We were a very small team, very few guys, heavily laden with combat gear and all the things that you need in various kinds of situations that may come up during combat. You're not going to get a chance to go home and, oh, I forgot this, I'll get that. Not happening, brother. So what does happen is that so years and years of experience, at that point where you've been able to calculate every damn thing and reach that situation as prepared as you can be in equipment, in training, in mindset, in
Can't
experience,
imagine
and etc.
how much
All of
gear
that
those guys
into
carry
that,
around.
4 or 5
Probably
minutes.
good
Or 1, 2
50,
minutes
60
or whatever.
pounds worth of gear they're
So
carrying everywhere.
we were in a very, 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 very difficult place. And guys like blew up. And yeah, it was like I was looking at that guy and I was thinking, no, he's dead. He's going to die right in front of my eyes. We are like brothers. Because in combat, like I said, there is no major, captain, colonel, brigadier, all that doesn't exist there. What exists in combat is love.
Is love.
Yes. I love my men. I used to love them. It's love. Only love can penetrate like that. Nothing
Love your
else.
battle buddy.
Only love can be that efficient. Yes. So it's that love which forms after trust. Trust comes before love. So then the love comes, and then with that love vibration, you can fucking penetrate anything.
I've seen that love before with soldiers that were saying goodbye to their injured squad leader when I was in Iraq, and this guy got all shot up or something, and his soldiers actually loved him, and it was very emotional. Just even thinking about it right now, it was really emotional to see just how much love you can have for your battle buddies or your commanders or your squad leader, etc.
Time and I was seeing this guy, and what a guy, man. What a guy. Like his like ankle below was gone. There was space there. And then his 1 foot, which had basically blown up, there was only one bone. There's the bone of the longest toe, there was no flesh on it. There was just a bone, and which had broken in like a hook, and there was nothing else there. And this guy was like, he had his hands behind his back like this. We extracted him in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I'd formed a protective circle around him. And we were like pumping him with morphine. We were pumping him with IV. We had put in IV. We had put in tetanus. We'd like, bandaged the wound. He was spurting blood like a machine. Every time it would pump.
So this guy had an arterial bleed on a limb. Standard of care on that is tourniquet, which I'm assuming the Indian Army uses. I'm not sure. Did the Indian Army give tourniquets to all of its soldiers in their first aid kits? If you know, drop that in the comments, please.
It would spray blood like that. Within 5 minutes, we had like sorted him out. We had brought the blood down to a trickle, and we had administered what was needed to be done. There was no doctor there. It was just us.
Did they use
So we are trained to be able to handle something like that. And then it goes into instinct. And only love can actually get something out like that. So that guy had such fucking balls on him. He was like this, and he was just looking at his foot like that. Just looking. He wasn't saying anything. And I was just looking at, if this guy starts screaming right now, because he's staring death in the face. He is so calm. He knows he's going to die now. He knows it.
Sometimes when you have a traumatic injury, you're not going to feel any pain because your body is spewing out adrenaline, and eventually the pain will catch up to you, but initially you're not going to feel much in some cases.
So while we were doing that, I was looking at him. What is he going to do? When is he going to start screaming? He did not scream. So while we were doing it, and then there was a little piece of his heel which was hanging off. So we were trying to put it back on the bone and then trying to, bind it up, because it will be needed later when he it'll become a stump. So the stump can take the prosthetic, right? So we were just putting that heel back so that he has some cushioning and all later on in life. And he was just looking like that. And that's when he opened his mouth and he said that, "Isko kaat ke fek do." Just chop it off and throw it away. Just do it, whatever you're doing. So we told him and just did what we had to do. And at that
so
point of time,
did they do it?
so
Did what he had to do.
at that point we had it had taken us like 48 hours to reach there down a jagged mountain. We had fixed ropes and whatnot to reach there. But then to fucking pull him out from there, it has taken us 2 nights of climbing down. And this guy is going to die very, very soon. He knows that there is no way humanly possible for him to reach medical attention, the kind of emergency medical attention he requires right now. But we did it, yeah. There's a guy we were like laden with, I was carrying about 35 kgs as a team commander. Right?
So that's what,
so imagine
60,
what all of us
70
were carrying.
pounds?
And when we
That's
started, like, we did not go like this, like that or something. Just straight away, like that, we went like that, like a fucking rocket. Sida just fucking
So he's
picked
a
him
good
up,
storyteller.
surrounded him. There was a guy on my team, a very young guy. And he was like a big man. He was relatively new. And it was his like first combat experience and all. That's what I'm talking about, love. So he just lifted that guy on his back, right? Just lifted that guy on his back and said, I'll climb. And we needed that. We needed that at that point because of various reasons, blood flow, blah, blah, blah.
And there's probably enemies around.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, there are enemies around and they know what's up. So they're hunting you now. So you have to get out. Not because you're afraid or anything of combat. That's what you've come here for. We're like, bring them on, man. We were fucking like that. Bloody, 6 of us, if we were at that stage, if we got surrounded by whoever, if we got surrounded, it would take them 1 year to kill us. 1 year.
See, that's the definition of confidence right there.
That level. So when this guy picked him up, this, let's call him A. So A picked up the guy who had blown off his leg. This guy started saying, no, put me down. I'll walk and go. That's what he was saying. His leg is gone, like his ankle below gone. And he's saying that, no, you put me down. I'll walk and go. I'll carry my weapon.
That's impressive.
He was carrying his IV bottle in one hand, in which he was getting IV fluid inside his body. And he was carrying his weapon. He was saying, no, I'll walk. So I had to tell him, brother, please climb on his back.
Very impressive.
So he said, okay, let it go. So he climbed on his back and we were going and there was this huge rock in that nala where this guy put his foot on to climb up and that huge rock like rolled onto his shin bone. And he just sat down and the guy who was carrying the other fellow, he just sat down, caught his foot like this and like about 30-40 seconds he was like this and then he got up and told him, you climb again. And we started climbing and we had him extracted by 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I had him on the fucking helipad, man. He was out and
That's
then
very
whatever.
intense.
So that was pretty intense, yeah. So that particular situation, like it was so much of intense
I wonder how
hard
long it
work
took
and
them
planning
to
and
extract
guts
him
and
to the
balls
helipad.
and
How
fucking
many
whatnot
hours?
had gone into being there at that point of time. It was a long plan. Days and days of stretch there in that position. And on the 5th day in the morning, I started getting a feeling of dread. It's the first time I felt dread in combat. I've never felt dread or fear or anything. Just there's no mind space for all of that. You are in combat and you start feeling fear, you're not going to get out of your life. And it's a natural body instinct, fight or flight. So you're in the fight mode, man. So at that point of time, on that 5th day, and we had a long stretch ahead of us, on that 5th day, in the morning, and I was just thinking, and this dread started building. And by around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I wanted to get out from there. I wanted to leave that. And I just kept thinking, in 12 years, this is the first time I want to leave combat. I don't want to be here. I want to get out. Why? So I was thinking, trying to use my mind to understand what am I feeling. So it was so fucking intense, right? You
Maybe
can't
it's part of
ignore
the
it.
intuition
Can't
that something
suppress it. That
bad is
kind of
going to
dread
happen,
was
maybe.
coming in. So I was thinking, why is this? It had never happened to me before. Before, all the intuitions I had was that like something is going to happen and I've gone in to take it, right? But this was, I wanted to get out. Why? So I was thinking, maybe maybe what do I want to get back to? I want to get back up there where there'll be a warm blanket and there'll be some rum to drink and there'll be some chicken to eat and all of that, because it's starving and all of that, right? So I was thinking maybe I've become lazy. I've become lazy in my head. I've spent so much time in this thing, and now I'm becoming like the other guys who left because they couldn't handle it anymore. So I've become like that. I'm becoming lazy. That's why I want to go. So I told, fucking no way. I'm not going back for that reason. So I stayed put. But the dread kept becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the first time I smoked in combat. I couldn't help it. I just pulled out a fucking cigarette. To suppress that dread, it had reached such a bloody level. You can't tell that to the other guys sitting around you.
Fear is contagious.
Yeah, you're leading them. So it was just, I was processing inside and thinking. And I think by around 4:30 in the evening, I was like, I had pressed my radio set button and I was going to tell the other guys, we were like 2 squads out, right? I was going to tell the other squad, extract, get out, come to me. And we'll get out from here. I had pressed the switch and I was going to pass. And I left it. I decided at that point, no, I'll see this through. I'm not going from here, because I couldn't understand why I want to get out. So I just crushed that feeling of wanting to get out and I stayed put. And around 20-25 minutes later, boom.
Uh-oh.
And then 5 minutes of radio silence.
Something went down.
So I knew some shit has gone bad. Various permutations, combinations came in my head. There were people, my own squad guys telling me, open the radio, ask them what's up, what's happened. I knew shit has hit the fan. The guy who's leading that squad, right? I was leading 2 squads. So the guy who's leading that squad, that small team. So I was waiting for him. 5 minutes I waited sitting on the radio, waiting for him, because I knew he's in chaos right now. He's in fucking chaos right now. And the last thing he fucking needs to hear from me is what the fuck is going on. He'll fucking handle it, yeah. That's what he's been trained for. And at the end of the day, either God is walking with us or not, yeah. We'll find out,
Very true.
right? What we'll see. So 5 minutes, I just waiting. And he came on the radio and told me, shit has hit the fan, guy's blown his leg. So then you cannot lose another guy, because you will not be able to extract, because then the load will become too heavy. So you cannot have another casualty, trying to extract another casualty. So we did certain things after that, at that point of time. And that was a situation that you're not taught. You see it, experience it. So that heart, that confidence in love, and the skill sets and your experiences, all of that crunched together gives you fucking clarity like nobody's business.
You can't train for every possible scenario. This is why it's important for soldiers, and especially special forces, to be adaptable and to have good problem-solving skills for situations just like that.
To go in and then face what is there. And in that particular case, we were able to successfully extract the guy. Yeah.
Wow. So that was some intense storytelling. So far, I think this is my favorite part. I know nearly everything he's done in the Special Forces is classified, but I'm really liking how he's able to talk about the important and relevant parts of his experiences without giving too much information. He is a great storyteller, and I'm enjoying all of his insight into everything, especially about love existing on the battlefield. That could not be any more true. I can't wait to watch part 4, which should be the final video in the series. If it's filmed, it's linked right here. If not, there'll be another good video for you to watch. If you like this kind of content, military reactions with some occasional education and news, then please smash that like button. Maybe check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.